What is going on, everybody? We are back with another review, and this time we're reviewing Season 1, Episode 10 of Alfred Hitchcock Presents. And this episode is called The Case of Mr. Pelham. We have before we get into the description, this was directed by Alfred Hitchcock, the story was written by Anthony Armstrong, teleplay was written by Francis Cockrell. And it stars Tom Ewell as Albert Pelham, both the real and fake one. And yeah, it was released December 4th, 1955. Ironically, I recorded my 1955. I recorded my reaction to this on December 4th, 2024. So we are 69 years. Exactly, I think. I could be wrong by 1 year. 24, I think it's 69 years. 69 years. It's actually pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, anyways, to review this, you've got Mr. Pelham, who seems to be a successful businessman. Starts by a club that he runs. Talks with a bartender, and a doctor shows up, who seems to be a psychiatrist. And he thinks he has a double who is slowly taking over his life. And he starts to tell stories to the doctor where there are things going on in his life that somebody else seems to be pretending to be him. So, like, he'll show up at work and everybody will be like, oh, well, here's the things that you did this morning, sir. And he'll be like, but I didn't, what? And he'll look into it, and it'll turn out like it'll be his signature. He'll recognize the signature, but he has no clue where it came from. He would go to the movie, come home, and then all of a sudden, the tie and everything that he was wearing would already be on the mantle, ready to go, like he'd already come home and taken them off to go and get ready for bed. There'd be things where he was trying to catch himself in the same place at the same time and never did. Towards the middle of it to end, doctor tells him that there's a very good chance that he does have somebody pretending to be him. So what he should do is change up his routine a little bit. He should wear a different colored tie, or change up how he does his signature, things like that. So he agrees. He's like, all right, I can do that. So he goes and gets a new tie, changes up his signature, changes the key to his apartment, everything. And the other version of him still seems to be getting into the apartment. So one night, he calls and asks his butler to leave a cold dinner out for him, so when he gets home, he can eat. He got home and the dinner wasn't laid out, and the butler's like, you already ate it. And he took him to where he ate it, and the food was gone. So finally he's like, all right, next day at work, he sits there and he goes to call his butler to ask his butler a question, but he answers. So he basically calls himself. He rushes home, and when he walks in, the butler looks really confused because he was already getting ready to serve him a drink. And the butler realizes, he's like, there's two of these guys, and he's like, is my double in there? And the butler kind of looks at the thing, and all of a sudden, the other version of himself comes out of the door. And they sit there and they have a conversation, and they're both trying to convince the butler that they're the real one. And what you can only presume is the fake one ends up being the one that convinces the butler that he's real. And the other one ends up in the psychiatric ward. Now, just to give you an idea, like I said, Alfred Hitchcock was nominated for the Primetime Emmy Award for Best Director for a Film Series for this episode. at the 8th Primetime Emmy Awards on March 17th, 1956. That's super cool. But I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. While the story was super interesting and I was hooked into the story that was going on, the payoff didn't really connect with me. And I think a lot of that is it needed more time to reveal who this guy really was, which one was really the copycat, which one was really the wrong one. And that's where the only complaint that I have comes in, is it just feels like it's not sure. You still, at the end of it, have to just kind of make an assumption on who's real and who's not. And I'm not a fan with how that played out. Otherwise, the acting is fine, and everything else is fine. Yeah, I just wish there would have been a for sure. This is the way it's going. Actually, just watched Smile 2 today. Again, December 4th, as of the recording of this. I just watched Smile 2 today with my fiance, and it was another one where by the end of it, I was so confused on what was actually going on. Obviously, I knew the punchline of the movie and what was happening at the very, very end. I just, there's a point where somebody's like, well, none of this is real, and then you have to question how much of any of this movie has been real. It's so weird. But yeah, so, excuse me. Case of Mr. Pelham, just not that great of a overall. The episode was good until it wasn't, and it really just, I feel like it let you down in the end. So, again, we have 4 more episodes of The Terror Season 1. I'm super excited to get back into that. Like I said, I'm recording the last episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents and this one in the same night. So episodes 9 and 10. And it has been a week to a week and a half since the last time that I actually recorded. Which bums me out because I could already be done with The Terror with the way I was recording and getting ahead of things. But no. I'm super excited to see where this goes. Or see some more episodes of this. Because even with that one having like an ending that just kind of fell flat for me, the episode was, like I said, overall pretty good. I'm still really enjoying Alfred Hitchcock Presents a lot more than I was enjoying The Twilight Zone. Because I feel like this one has way more messed up endings, which is what I'm looking for in some kind of horror-ish type thing. The next episode is called Guilty Witness. And, yeah. Sorry for all the yawns when you guys watch these reviews, man. This whole recording at 1 o'clock in the morning is rough on me, but it's the only time I've got to do it, so. But alright, guys, I love y'all. We'll see you next time. Peace.